Hey friends, welcome to your week 23 foundations class. For this class, you will need a ball of some sort for our release work and then a chair, steady chair with a back. And I believe that's it. So we're gonna get started with our release work at the wall. And we're gonna be working on some of the muscles throughout the chest and the front of the shoulders. The softer the ball, the squishier the ball, the less intense. So keep that in mind. We are going to place the ball right underneath our collarbones, our clavicles, in this area. You can find your pec minor muscle, which is usually pretty tender and tight underneath here. So ball underneath the collarbone. And first, just take a little rock side to side, all along the length of that bone. Of course, if you're having a sore breast at the moment, you can definitely limit the range of motion of where you're going. All right, let's bring our arm all the way, our right arm, all the way straight out to the side. And now we're gonna roll along the collarbone and then even up to the front of the shoulder here. These muscles can get tight as our posture changes with pregnancy, and then especially with breastfeeding or any type of feeding after a baby is born. Good, now bring your elbow to bend at 90 degrees, a cactus arm, and we'll do the same thing here. Maybe spend a little extra time right on the front of the shoulder. We're avoiding putting too much pressure right in this front armpit area because there's a lot of blood vessels and nerves that go through there, but if you're not having extreme pain or tingling sensations, you should be fine. And then maybe you roll along the front of the bicep and the front of the shoulder. Good, remove the ball. And then find a stretch that feels good for you. You can have your right arm straight or bent at that angle. And then we're turning our chest open to the left. Couple more breaths here. Good, and then find your breastbone, your sternum, and we're just gonna do a couple up and down. Just instead of right on the midline, going to the right just an inch or so. And again, just be mindful. This could be sore, but avoid that area that's extra sore. So I'm bending my knees and straightening my knees in order to help that ball roll up and down 3 to 6 inches. Good. Roll your shoulders back, maybe notice one side versus the other, and then we'll switch it out. So all along the underside of your left collarbone this time. Just sticking on the front of the chest right now. We're not going out to the shoulder or the bicep yet. Now feel free to straighten your left arm behind you and roll the ball from the very middle to the front of the shoulder. Maybe to the front of the bicep. Just wiggle around. Of course, calm, steady breaths this whole time. We're not adding any unnecessary tension with our breathing pattern. Good, bend your elbow to 90 degrees, your left arm, and just continue where you are. Go ahead and remove your ball and find about 30 seconds of a stretch, either with the arm straight or bent at that angle. So left arm is on the wall, and then right shoulder and right chest are peeling open. This will also help our breath get into our upper chest, filling in all the areas of the lungs. One more cycle of breath. And then last thing here is find your sternum again and just go to the left, up and down a couple inches, just on the inside of your chest. And I like to bend and straighten my knees so that they're kind of doing the work here, and the ball stays pretty still as you move up and down. Left arm can be kind of dangling out to the side, so you're really releasing contractions, or if you feel more comfortable with it on the wall, that's fine. 3 more times. Good. Go ahead and release whenever you're done with those. Roll your shoulders back. Take a couple big breaths. Up into the chest, up underneath the armpits. And then we're gonna move over to our chair. So have a seat, scooting all the way back. And then interlace your fingers behind your head with your elbows pointing out to the side. So flaring elbows out, leaning all the way back against the chair. We're gonna do some thoracic extensions for our posture and back body movement, meaning when we arch back, we're focusing it in this mid to upper back region. So we're not really arching through the low back. We're using the chair as sort of a fulcrum point around which to extend. Because again, our tendency is to live in this hunched posture. And I like to inhale as I lean back. Exhale, come pretty much to a neutral spine, so you don't have to sit up all the way. Inhale, lean back. You might even get some clicks or pops. Exhale back to neutral. We'll do about 10 or 15 of these. Think about that area. Everyone's chair height is a little bit different, but the area pretty much at the bottom of your sports bra, around there, give or take a couple inches. And again, as we breathe today, I want you to focus on the upper chest and really on the lateral rib cage. Let's do 5 more. Kind of boring and repetitive, but we often skip this kind of stuff. So if you're not doing it here, you're probably not doing it elsewhere. Really lean back into the upper back. And use a little bit of that pressure of the chair to push your spinal segments forward. 2 more big breaths. On this last one, hold. So lower belly is drawing in. We're focusing that extension on the upper back. Maybe a slight tuck of your tailbone under. Full inhale. And exhale, sit back up. So we're gonna do our core move, which is a similar motion today. You're just gonna scoot your hips a couple inches off the back of the chair. We're gonna do chair roll-ups or sit-ups. And this is kind of like a pressure management core exercise. So if it is hard for you, I would say scoot your butt as close to the back of the chair as possible. But from here, we're thinking about rolling the segments of our upper spine and then our mid spine, and then our low back shouldn't really be touching, but kind of going from the top to the bottom off of the chair into a sit-up type motion. As we do this, we don't want just upper ab clenching and gripping through the six-pack ab muscles. We want to zip everything in. So while our spine is moving from the top to the bottom, our core is contracting from the bottom to the top. You can always add that pelvic floor contraction if that helps. So inhale, exhale, pretend you could pull your hip bones together. Lean forward one segment at a time into your sit-up. Inhale at the top, and exhale, slowly roll back. And we do it in the opposite order now. Okay, adjust your seat. If it feels too easy, scoot forward. If it feels too hard, scoot back. Inhale, exhale, lower core. Abs are turned on as we lean forward, lifting one spinal segment at a time. Another little addition that can help recruit your core is to squeeze a block between your knees. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, core is on, lower ribs to hips. Spinal segments lift their way off of the chair. Also, it's not a cheat, but what I did, leaning forward with my arms or reaching forward with my arms, makes it easier. So if you want it harder, hands behind the head or hands crossed in front of your chest. Inhale here. Exhale, lower core, and then lean forward. Good, let's do 5 more with your breath. Taking as much time as you need in the resetting of the reps. Just another tip for you, if your feet are dangling, that can make you feel a little bit ungrounded, so you could place blocks underneath your feet and kind of pull them back against the chair leg rest. Lots of options. 4 more breaths. Inhale to rock back with control. Exhale, contract, shift forward with control. I think we have 2 more. I'm terrible at counting. Inhale to rock back. Exhale, pull everything in. One segment at a time, lean forward. Last one. Use that full length of your out breath. Good. All right, release whatever props you were using. And we're gonna move into our pelvic floor exercise today. I'm gonna turn my chair, actually maybe not. We're gonna bring our feet up. So heels come up to the chair. Obviously, if you have a bigger belly, take a wider stance with your feet and your knees. This is a nice birthing prep position, which we're not ready for quite yet, but just to keep that in mind. Good, hands wrap around the front of the shins or the knees. Roll your shoulders back. And here we're just taking some big breaths. On our inhale, of course, that breath reaches all the way down to our pelvic floor. Find a little release there. You could place your hand down at your pelvic floor and feel that slight filling in of your fingertips. And I kind of like the placement of our legs here because while we're allowing the space, obviously, for baby and belly, we're not just breathing out through the front of the belly because our thighs will kind of tell us otherwise. So that forces us to get that breath down and then out and back. So as you do this, you feel your low back soften into the chair behind you. Now see if you can bias different parts of your pelvic floor. This time as you inhale, think about the posterior part. So the area around the anus. This is also really helpful if you're experiencing any constipation. Let those muscles that are clenching around the posterior pelvic floor release with your inhale. Good, now bias it to the front of the pelvic floor, to the area around your urethra and your vagina. Our exhales, we aren't contracting yet. We're just letting them go. So don't think about anything on the exhale. One more here. Good, now we're gonna do 3 rounds of pelvic floor contractions. So our inhale is still that same deep breath, all the way down, relaxing and releasing. And then our exhale on these first 3 is going to be the posterior pelvic floor. So we relax the muscles and then we contract them like we need to hold in a bowel movement or hold in gas. Inhale to release. Exhale, posterior pelvic floor contraction like you're holding in gas. Inhale to release. Exhale to contract. One more here on your own. Good, second 3 breaths, we do the opposite. So breathing into the front of the pelvic floor and contracting on the front of the pelvic floor on the exhale. So inhale to release there. Exhale, contract the front of the pelvic floor. This is where you act like you're picking up a blueberry with your vagina or you're nodding your clitoris. Inhale to release. Open up. Exhale, contract. One more here. Good, and our last 3 breaths is bringing together everything. So the full inhale reaches its way to the whole of the pelvic floor, and the exhale, we're closing all the holes and lifting everything up and in. Inhale to relax. Exhale, close the holes, lift, pull everything together, and then lift it up. Inhale, let it go, let it soften. Exhale, close those holes, pull them together, and then lift them up. Getting that deep pelvic floor contraction. Last one. Good. All right. I didn't tell you this at the beginning, but having a block or a rolled up towel is going to be nice here. We're going to work a little bit of our hip muscles by squeezing the block in between our knees, probably at the most narrow setting. All right, hips make their way to the back of the chair. Again, if your chair, this is a little bit high for me, you do want to feel some grounding underneath your feet if possible. Stacking books underneath would be fine as well. All right, so here on an inhale, we just do the usual. On an exhale, we're gonna squeeze the blocks, engaging our adductors, our inner thigh muscles. Pelvic floor comes along with it, core comes along with it. And then we're gonna keep that nice square pelvis. So learn, to keep both sides of the pelvis even, facing straight forward as we twist open. So kind of like a bow and arrow with your right arm over to the right. So the twist is coming from above the belly button. Good, inhale back through center, release. Exhale, squeeze the block. Pelvis stays neutral, bow and arrow opening, left elbow back. And then you can press your right fist forward if you'd like. Inhale, relax, back through center. Exhale, squeeze. Slight tuck of the tailbone under, just a little bit. Open up to the right. Inhale, release through center. Exhale, squeeze. Core is turned on. Everything is stabilizing at the pelvis as we twist thoracic spine open to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, hip muscles are on. Twist open to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Squeeze and then turn. So with pregnancy, keep going on your own. It's really important that we include a lot more pelvic stabilizing exercises than pelvic opening exercises, or at least having a balance of the two. Because our body is being pumped with this hormone relaxin, which is great because it loosens the ligaments around our bones, which during birth will be great, will help make more space for baby to come out, but it can lead to some discomfort and instability. Especially during these weeks, I felt that I've been experiencing it more. So we strengthen the muscles around the pelvis to hold that in place. Let's do one more on each side. Inhale through center, relax everything. We have to learn to relax too. It's not a constant squeezing of our hip muscles. We have to learn to let that go. Exhale, squeeze inner thighs, draw back with the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, squeeze inner thighs. Hip points face forward, twist open to the left. Good. Back through center. You could even give your inner thighs a little massage, a little rub, let them know it's okay to stop working so hard right now. And next we're gonna do a standing exercise for our functional one. So you can move the chair out of the way. And come to a wall. There is an opportunity for bonus points on this one. If you have a little band, tie it in a circle. As big of a circle as you can. You don't want it super tight. This probably will be too tight for me, but we'll see. All right, we're gonna come to the wall and we're gonna do a serratus press with a hip flexor banded pull. So for our press, we're bringing our elbows, you can move the mat closer to the wall if you need. We're bringing our elbows parallel to each other at the wall. Pinky fingers are pressing down into the wall. From here, we push our forearms down and we press the wall away. So we think about filling the area of the back of the heart. We talked about the serratus muscle, these ones that wrap around the rib cage, and they help us avoid what's called scapular winging. So if I'm disengaged, I do this. If I'm engaged, it's this nice filling of the back of the heart. Okay? If you need to make this easier, you walk closer to the wall. If you need to make it harder, you walk away from the wall. So inhale to a nice neutral spine. We're tucking our tailbone under a little bit, hugging lower ribs and hip bones towards each other. And then as we exhale, we push away. Now here we want to check, can I stretch my neck to either side? Can I roll my head forward and backwards? Because we don't want to be overusing our neck muscles, our traps. We want to focus on that pushing movement through the shoulder blades, like we could wrap them forward. Now, band comes in. Again, this is probably gonna be too tight, but you would wrap it around both feet. And then on an exhale, as you push the ground away, we're going to alternate a knee drive. So bringing right knee up into your chest. Inhale, step back down, release the shoulders. Big breath in, exhale, push the wall away, drive left knee up into chest. Inhale to release. Exhale, serratus press, weight into the left foot, drive your right knee up. Inhale to release. Exhale, press, left knee drive. Core is turned on, everything is super stable and strong. Inhale, we're gonna do 3 more on each side. If it's too much to focus on, probably just focus on the press and take out the leg pull, maybe visit it later. Full expansive breath into the back of the rib cage. Exhale, push elbows down, right knee up. Inhale, release. Exhale, press. Left knee drive. Inhale, release. Exhale, push elbows down, right knee drive. Good, shift your weight over. Exhale, core is on, hip flexor is working, left knee drive. Don't forget about those elbows into the wall. One more on each side. Make them your two best yet. Good, shake out your arms. They're probably talking to you. So we did some release work of that pec minor muscle, and that is what gets overworked a lot if our serratus are weak. So we want to let go of some of this tension and strengthen these other muscles around the chest and the scapula. All right, that is our foundations class, mostly wall focused and chair focused, a little bit different. I hope you enjoyed it. Please go through these exercises right now again or later this week, just to keep that body nice and happy and healthy. And I will see you next time.